Hey, it's Denise. Welcome to my channel. If you've never been here, welcome back if you have. I just wanted to give a quick update, and I know I'm going to be one of those people who's like, after they have a grandchild and everyone they know, like whether they work with you or they're your neighbor or whatever, they have to stop you every 5 seconds and be like trying to show you the latest pictures of their grandchild. Because that's how excited I am about the fact that I'm going to be getting a new puppy in a few months. And you can check the first video in the playlist about, the big news that I'm getting a puppy, which will explain why I did not get a rescue puppy, which is normally something that I would get a rescue dog, and not even necessarily a puppy. I would normally get a rescue dog. But at this particular point in my life, and for the particular reason that I needed a specific type of dog, it just didn't work out for a rescue. But again, I go into that in great detail in the first video in the playlist about my dog that I'm getting. So this would be my third video, and I just wanted to share sort of as I'm getting things for her. I'm going to be getting a female standard poodle, and I'm looking at different products that people recommend, different things that people suggest having on hand before you get your dog. Then at certain points, along having your dog, like at a certain age, things they might start to need. So I'm trying to kind of be proactive and make sure I have those things. So two more things just arrived. Well, one arrived this morning, and it was just a single thing, this toy, so I wasn't going to bother, but then just another box arrived, and I'm pretty sure I know what's in it. So if it is what I think it is, I think you might find it interesting. So for starters, we'll start with the toy, which hopefully the dog will find interesting. It's cold and miserable and rotten here, and that's why I'm like, honestly, I was like about to just take a nap and then take a hot bath. I would have taken the bath first, but my son's taking a shower as we speak. So this toy looked really good to me because, like, you can see it's a nice thick rope, which is great for chewing, especially when they have that, like, teething and those sharp puppy teeth going on. Rope is really a good thing for them to chew. And it's also got a relatively hard rubber ball, but that's also, if you can hear that, it's got a squeaky in it. So hopefully this is a toy that she will enjoy, both in terms of like playing with it herself, like enjoy the squeaky and kind of fighting with it, but also that can be used for tug of war to make it, more fun, and that you can swing around a little bit to make it more exciting for her to play with. Anything that engages your dog, and makes them want to play with you is something you really want to have in terms of, getting that initial bonding. Now, let me grab the scissors before I stand here and tell you what this is, then it turns out it's something completely different. So, let's see if this is what I think it is. I'm telling you, I mentioned it in the other videos. I don't think I prepared, relatively speaking. I mean, when you consider how short a dog pregnancy is compared to a human pregnancy, I definitely did not prepare this far in advance for the birth of my actual children. I just didn't. Bad me, but I just didn't. Okay. So, yes, it is what I think it is. It's the Adaptil. I got both things. Now, I mentioned in another video that I was getting this, but it hadn't arrived yet. That was when I showed you some of the, that was the second video where I showed you some of the supplies I got her, including a litter box, because the breeder I'm getting her from starts their puppies using a litter box, so that if they are going to be like apartment living, apparently she sells quite a few dogs that end up living in the city. To me, who lives in New York State and grew up in Rockland County, when you say the city, you automatically assume everyone knows you mean New York City. Now, obviously that's not true. And now that I live up in the Adirondacks, which are the northern part of, still on the eastern coast of New York State, sort of, but much further north. As I say, closer to Montreal than Manhattan. But in my mind, the city is still New York City. And the breeder did tell me she does sell a good number of dogs that end up going to New York City, where these high-rise apartment buildings have like a quarantine for the first 2 weeks. You're not really supposed to take a new dog out, like into any of the dog parks or common walking areas or anything. So you really do need a dog that's either litter box or puppy pad trained. And puppies are more likely to like rip up and shred and play with a puppy pad than they are with the wood pellets, those absorbent pellets that go in. They look almost like like rabbit food pellets or alfalfa pellets that you would feed a horse. That's sort of, only they're made of pine, and that's what you use in a litter box for a dog. They also use it as litter as bedding for horses. But anyway, so yeah, if you want to check out that whole thing, that's in my second video. And I mentioned that I had ordered this but hadn't gotten it yet. Now, I have never used this product before with another dog or anything, but I read some reviews, and essentially they all seem very positive. Only one person was like, yes, the dog changed and they got much calmer, but I'm not sure if it was from this or from something else that changed in the environment. Everybody else seemed pretty convinced that it was, in fact, this product that was helping, and that it made a big difference in terms of their dog not being anxious. Now, this one, the Home Diffuser, this is like a pheromone-based scent that supposedly is very calming to dogs. So this is like one of those, like if you look at the picture on the back, it's kind of like one of those air freshener plug-in things that you would plug in for your house, and you know, it's good for a month and you can buy refills. Now I'm hoping that if I put this in the room where her crate and her playpen are going to be, that will just make that room smell, if this stuff works, have a relaxing, you know, sort of put her at ease kind of scent, so that she's comfortable sleeping in there. Now, from what I've seen of the, you know, people have different methods. The method I'm going to try is to not have her sleep in my room, which I had originally thought. Instead, I'm going to go with the set up her crate and playpen in what is going to be essentially her room, the room where we play and train and work on stuff all day. My guest room is being changed into the dog's room. And you want to make that world, you know, like Disney World. That is a room where happy, fun things happen. And if this helps have a calming effect, the first few nights when she's in there, sleeping in her crate, I will probably be sleeping on the floor, on an air mattress, or just in a sleeping bag. This is the spray version for traveling. I'm trying to get the glare off it for you there. Of the same product, basically, but you can spray it in the crate. You can spray it on the bedding that goes in their crate. Someone was saying you can like spray it on a bandana and put it around their neck. And again, like, it makes it easier for them to travel if they're a nervous traveler in the car. I'm hoping that by taking her for regular rides in the car, we can help get over that, because so much of like motion sickness in dogs isn't really motion sickness, it's anxiety. So I'm hoping that if from a young age she associates going for a ride with being something fun, like, hey, I get in the car, I get a treat, or when we go for a ride in the car, we go somewhere fun and play for a few minutes, or we go see something interesting. So I do want to get her used to rides in the car, and I'm hoping that this kind of has the same effect in the car that the plug-in one will have in her, I feel like, you know, in her nursery, where her crib will be, you know, where her crate and playpen area will be. So, yeah, my goal is that her crate and playpen will be set up. I'll have that plugged in near it so that it's hopefully giving off that relaxing scent. And then those first few nights, so that, because she'll basically be spending the day with me, you know, brand new puppy, you don't leave them alone really. And they've never been alone. They've been with their litter mates right up until you took them and put them in the car and took them away. So that first night, those first few nights at least, of course the dog is going to be nervous. It's never slept alone in its life. But I don't want to start that habit of it thinks it needs to sleep in my room. Once she's older and fully, you know, potty trained and can be trusted around the house and knows not to touch things and go through things, and we're talking down the road, you know, then yes, I'm sure there'll be plenty of times that I let her sleep in my room with me. But I want her to be comfortable and confident that she can sleep in a room by herself and that it's nothing to be afraid of. So in the beginning, I will sleep on the floor, like I said, with an air mattress or a sleeping bag in her room to get her comfortable sleeping in her room. And then eventually we will introduce, you know, her sleeping in there without me. And I'm sure, again, that'll be a little bit of a transition, but I'm hoping that this product, if it works as well as people say it does, and again, Adaptil is what it's called, Adaptil Calm. And, you know, this is the plug-in, and this is the spray. I think it says it's good for like 6 or 8 hours, the spray. So, you know, if you're traveling, if you're going on vacation and taking the dog, or going to visit someone and taking the dog, or even just taking a ride in the car to the vet, or hopefully somewhere more fun, like to go to a park or something, this will hopefully make the car ride also a relaxing experience. It's so much better to try to deal with potentially anxiety-provoking or potentially scary, negative type situations, to deal with them proactively and turn them into something fun before they become something scary in the dog's mind. It's much harder to change something that the dog believes is scary after the fact. So I'm hoping this does what it says, and definitely once I use it, I will let you know if I think it does. And so yeah, this is something I've never used with another dog before. Don't personally have any experience of anyone I know using it. So it's a complete unknown, but I did go ahead and buy both. Just so if it does work in the house, I figure it would be awesome to also have it to be able to use it when we're traveling, to give her that same sort of feeling if it does in fact help her feel calm. So we've got our puppy be calm, and then we've got another toy. You know, this one I got our one little rope toy already, and then now this adds the hard chewy rubber ball with the squeaker in it, because you got to try out different kinds of toys. Not every dog likes the same toys. I have ordered her like an assortment of toys that should be coming over to, you know, the next week or so. And I will show you what I got her. And when she comes home from the breeder, she's going to have a specific type of food that will have been eating at that point, and that she's going to be staying on. So she'll come home with a 15-pound bag of that from the breeder, and at that time I will place an order to make sure, or before actually, probably a couple days before, I'll place an order just to make sure that her food, like I can set it up for an automatic monthly delivery thing, to make sure that I have her food. And she'll also be taking supplements that the breeder has all her dogs on. So, you know, that's why I'm not really talking too much about food or supplements, because that's something that specifically she'll be continuing on, the same thing that the breeder uses for all of her dogs. And I was not going to like buy the dog food a few months in advance just to have it sitting around. So I will get that when it's, you know, pretty much ready for her to come home. And that's it for this video. If you have experience with this product, please let me know in the comments if you found it helpful, if it worked for your dog, whether you used it with an adult dog or with a puppy. And I would be very curious to hear from people who've used it. So, as always, truly appreciate you taking the time to watch. please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you know when I post a new video. You can check out my other videos. My other playlists are unboxings and reviews of products and gardening related, mostly hydroponic, but also some soil gardening, and then just a few videos that are my opinions on various topics, usually having to do either with health or disability. As a disabled person who was a nurse for 26 years, I do have opinions on those things. Yes, I do. But again, from the heart, thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. I know you have a ton of options, and I do appreciate when you take the time to watch one of mine. So, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I was going to say notify me, but that would have been wrong. Anyway, have a great day, and once again, I'll keep you updated when I get more stuff, and let me know if you've ever used this stuff with your dog. Have a great day.